Hey guys, welcome to the podcast. I am super excited today because we finally have a special guest.
I don't know what's special, but it's a guest.
Well, we have a guest.
I'm very special.
Quote unquote special. We've been talking about it for a while about having someone on our show, and we finally did get someone to agree to come on after asking many people and turning us down.
It had to pay some of them, and they still didn't show up after they got the Venmo. But
I didn't get paid.
That reminds me of the meme. You guys are getting paid.
I thought of that same thing too. So anyway, we have Sara Tufano here with us, and I will just silent clap.
Yeah, no.
So Sara Tufano is an agent, not with our office, but with a local office. And I'm going to let you introduce yourself. So just tell us a little bit about who you are and where you work and what brings you on.
That camera.
All right. I'm Sara Tufano. I work for Coldwell Banker in Orange. I've been an agent for 11 years. And some reason I hang out with these cool kids. And here we are.
You're so lucky.
I know. It's nice.
So the reason why, one of the main reasons why I wanted to bring you on is because we have spoken a lot in our previous episodes about how we feel it's so important for agents to collaborate and agents to really shift their mindset into the fact that this is very much a collaborative effort, and it's very much a process that at the end of the day, we should all work together towards the same end goal.
Right.
And in a lot of cases, based on experience in your deals and my deals, and I'm sure you could probably share the same sentiment, in cases when actually people work together, things go so much more smoothly.
100%.
All the parties are happy. Everyone is just, with a good feeling at the end of the transaction, as opposed to resentment, which can happen a lot when you feel as though we're up against each other.
Right.
And so, we call each other cooperating brokers for a reason. We have to cooperate with each other for the same reason, to get to that same end goal. So I wanted to bring you on because I think one of the reasons why we clicked so well and we hang out outside of work and we hang out very often and have developed this close friendship is...
I don't know.
Well,
Debatable.
I wanted to lie for the show, but I didn't know we wanted to.
I'm sorry, I can't lie.
It's
Not friendship.
So not friendship. Acquaintance.
So mean today, I tell you.
But yeah, here you are.
Yeah, here I am.
That's
First
how
guest.
mean we are.
First guest.
Yeah. So I wanted to bring you on for that reason because I feel as though you share the same mindset. And I think that's why we click, because it's a breath of fresh air for us to run into someone that shares that sentiment, that shares that mindset. So do you think you could speak a little bit towards that? And
yeah, I think, not every deal is easy, right? So, you can't control other people. All you can do is control how you react to those people. And I think that's one of the biggest things, recently I had a deal going on and the agent was just so combative on every little aspect of the deal. And, finally I just said to her, listen, we're in this together. We all have the same goal. And, there's no need to have, this combative, tense relationship. I don't want to have to see your name on my phone and cringe because I'm I don't know what's going to happen today. And all of a sudden she changed her whole tune. So I think that goes a long way, is just not necessarily what's happening, but how you react to it.
Well, it goes to show you that maybe a lot of people are actually expecting the deal to be like that from the beginning. Maybe she was actually acting like that because she thought she was supposed to, based on her previous experience.
That's true too, yeah.
Maybe that's what it was.
So you're right. I was actually going to say that too.
But you didn't.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I'll give you the credit.
I appreciate it.
But no, that's true, because a lot of times just simply being transparent with someone in that sense and saying, look, I don't know, what's going on, but I just want you to know that we should be working together and we should take a different approach, I think allows an agent that might have that mentality to let their guard down and say, this is a different type of tone from an agent. Maybe I can actually be myself. Maybe they actually are being someone.
Yeah. And I had another one too where, same type of thing. And it turned out after having conversations with her is that, her sellers were really difficult. And she didn't want to let me know that, her sellers were just very difficult to work with, just very unamenable to everything we were asking for or doing. And it turned out that it was the seller, not her. So now, we're trying to get through it, but sometimes there's underlying factors. And I think too, not to blame it on COVID, but I think COVID has stressed a lot of people out and has, made people struggle more than ever. And, not everybody, the real estate market obviously picked up pretty good. But not every business is like that, right? So I feel like that kind of added a little bit of stress to people, and it's becoming one of these things where we just have to remind people that we're working with, even the clients, that I'm here for you. We're on the same team here. Even though we are competitors, we're still in this to get to the same end goal, like you said.
Right.
You know, we all want to get to the closing table.
I agree that COVID has people on edge.
Yeah.
Like, this has been going on way before.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true. That's true.
They can use it as an excuse now, but what about last year?
Yeah,
what about the beginning of the year?
True.
You know, what about 2 years ago? So I guess they all some people are just power hungry and they just want to feel like they win something for the clients rather than understanding that getting to the end effortlessly and you know, like easily, I guess, it's actually the best win you can get for your client.
Well, there's no better transaction than a seamless one, right? So everybody gets along, everybody's happy, the seller leaves, you know, I just had one, the seller left donuts for the couple that was moving in, and you know, they have a little girl, and it was so nice to the buyer. They said, oh my gosh, that's so nice of them to leave something for us, you know.
So they left the little girl and the donuts, or?
No.
Oh, okay, all right.
The seller was a single woman, and she left the donuts for my clients. But, you know, so, you know, just that extra, you know, people don't feel like that animosity at the end of the transaction. Right. You're such a, like, what's wrong with you?
He takes a few seconds afterwards to enjoy his joke.
I'm just picturing your clients walking in after the closing and everything, and there's just donuts on the table, and then his little girl standing next to the table. Hey.
Anyway,
There's something wrong with you.
There's so
please excuse my co-host.
Yeah, for real.
So, along those same lines, but shifting a little bit, one of the other things that I wanted to touch up on was something that recently happened when we were out one weekend recently, and we kind of started talking about an instance in which another agent that had posted in a forum was going through a situation that we didn't necessarily agree with.
Right.
And I think, not that I had any different thought of you before then than I do now, but I think that was a point that really reinforced my opinion of what type of character you had and whatnot.
Thank you for judging me.
Oh, we do it all the time.
I appreciate it.
We do it all the time.
Awesome.
Not just you, though.
Did you say I always have a notepad with me?
I know.
Oh, duly noted, Sarah. No, but I think that's really what brought into focus that we actually do share the same mentality, because we talk about this all the time on our podcast, in our office, in our blogs, whatever we do, we emphasize the fact that it's before a transactional business, it's a people business.
It's a relationship business.
It's about building relationships. It's about nurturing those relationships. It's about building trust, empathizing with our clients. And so at the end of the day, that's the most important part, I think, in a transaction. And that is at the center of what makes something seamless or not. And I think too often agents may focus too much on the transactional side of it, much like this particular person was in that forum. And
you should have a name for that person.
No, let's not.
No, can we just make
Blah,
up
blah.
a name? Blah, blah? Is that okay? That's usually what we go for because we're so original.
Okay,
Blah,
sure.
blah.
Blah, blah, like it.
And I think it just it goes to show that it's so important to bring back. See what you did?
What's wrong with you people?
He keeps having me here. I don't understand why.
Can you just call him a real name, like Tim?
Sure.
Oh, I couldn't think of anything on the spot.
Timmy.
I'm sorry. All right.
Timmy.
So Timmy blah blah.
Timmy John Doe.
Okay, great.
Blah, blah.
It reinforces or I should say reinforces, but it kind of brings it back that if you put your client's needs and wants and desires.
You're gonna edit this, right?
Nope. This is staying. This is staying. But I'm listening.
I mean,
I'm not so bad anymore, right?
what? I mean, I was trying to.
Anymore, right?
It all comes down to you actually throwing off the flow of the show. with can we put a name to this person?
Is it the butterfly effect or the domino?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Carry
Some kind of
on.
effect. So it all begins with you putting your clients
first and their clients' needs first, as opposed to thinking of everything as the transaction, thinking about it as a deal, thinking about it as numbers, as about the bottom line,
a paycheck or whatever. Yeah.
Because there's so much that happens from the beginning of a transaction, even before a transaction actually becomes a transaction, to all the way to the closing table, that it's important for us to bring what we always say, bring humanity back into real estate.
Right.
Because more often than not, you see people treating it as a transaction, just about the numbers, just about the bottom line, and they forget
on the house.
Well, I think too, people always say to us, what do you think of real estate agents? And a lot of times they say, oh, we think of you as, car salesman, or, they don't put us on the same level as, say, the attorney or somebody else.
Right.
They view us kind of a little bit lower, and that's where we need to elevate the bar
Bottom
and
feeders.
show we're not bottom feeders.
Basement feeders.
Sure. We work really hard, okay?
I'm not saying that's what I'm saying. That's what people think we are.
Well, right. And the public needs
I'm
to
clearing
see
that
that we are human. We have lives outside of real estate, but we're also, there to help them get to their goal. Not like I've told people, walk away from this house. I've told people, don't buy this house because I don't think it's a good investment.
Right.
I had a client not recently, maybe like a year ago. She was looking at this teeny tiny little house. All redone, top to bottom, new windows, new roof, new siding, and she's a single girl right now. But down the road, she might be married, she might want to have a kid, whatever the case may be. But her future wasn't going to fit into that mold. And I said, if you buy this house at this price today, in 5, 6, 7, 10 years, now you're going to have windows that are 10 years old, a roof that's 10 years old, and all those things. So I told her to walk away. And she did, and she found something better. But that's where, people realize that you're looking out for their best interests, not just the immediate today, what's going on.
Right. No, yeah, and I think that too often that's lost. And, it's I think that, unfortunately, especially in today's market, being that it's so competitive, and we're experiencing a level of demand that we've never experienced before, and people are all on edge and maybe borderline hostile when it comes to these negotiations and discussions. I think that we need to, or I guess what I was going to say before is it's unfortunate that that's actually what differentiates certain agents.
I know.
And in a lot of cases it differentiates or it separates the agents that give the bad name and the ones that don't. And so I think that, and unfortunately, that's become the industry stereotype and the norm. And so the fact that the minority are the ones that share that mindset is unfortunate, because as you were mentioning before, you don't want to see an agent's number on your phone and cringe. You want to actually, or even if they're bringing you an offer, you want to say, you want to have a good impression of that and have a good opinion of whether or not that deal will close, how competent that agent will be, how responsive they will be. More times than not, we get a call from an agent and we're like, oh, we're going to have to deal with this person.
And it sucks because it's their clients that suffer and they don't even know
and
it.
They don't even know it.
They're being represented by someone that people, like you said, they see their name pop up on the phone, they see an offer come in. And if you have another option, you're more likely going to go with the other option just because of the person that you're dealing with, and that sucks for the people.
And that just goes back to, I always used to say that, and I've heard this since when I got my license in 2009. It was brokers, whoever, seasoned agents. They've always said to me, agents, you have to work with the agents for the length of your career. Clients come and go, which is true. But at the same time, yes, you need to build that relationship with your client, but I feel like you have to build that relationship with the agent just as much.
Sure.
Because I've won deals just because of my relationships with agents, and I'm sure you have too. You know, when agents know that you are responsive and you're on it and you know what to do and you're not, going to be a headache, it goes a long way, for sure. So
awesome. All right. Well, we can probably wrap this up. Any closing thoughts?
Or a bow.
Any closing thoughts? Anything you want to add?
No,
you've been quiet for your interruptions.
Well, I was trying to think of what to do at every single point. My brain is like working like overtime whenever this happens.
Could have fooled us.
No, that's why I missed it. That's why I missed the questions. No, I'm just glad this could happen, honestly, and I think we need to do this more often. Maybe find better guests, but we need to do this more often.
I'm out of here.
And bringing vendors, bringing people like other agents and stuff like that, because it's so nice to be able to listen to other perspectives and other stories and other points of view, I guess.
No, absolutely. And I think that really epitomizes the purpose of this episode. We talk about it a lot on our podcast, and really up until now, it's really just been me and you talking about this. But I think being able to bring someone on,
he's just a side
from the outside, could be labeled as a competitor, but yet we are friendly with each other. And so I think that kind of puts puts our money where our mouth is, and so if anything, it kind of goes to show that it can be done.
For sure.
It kind of goes to show that cooperating. And,
I want to know when your agent party is going to be. That's what I want to know.
Oh, but that one you're not invited to.
Why?
It was either the podcast or the party.
Are you pitching in?
No.
What is he saying?
What do you want? I'll bring the White Claws.
Yeah, I'm not interested.
Okay.
This is awesome. And like you said, I mean, when we first started, I was actually going to say something. I was going to cut you off. I was like, nah, I'm not going to let him start. At least have the first 3 seconds without any interruptions. And you're right. We've been talking about this whole agent-to-agent relationship and stuff, and we never brought anyone in. So I'm glad that we were finally able to do it.
You finally convinced somebody to.
And I'm glad, even though I was just joking before, I'm glad it was you.
Thank you.
Any closing thoughts? Anything you'd like to add?
No, this was great. I appreciate the invite, and hopefully we can do it again.
Yeah, definitely. Awesome.
Good.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thanks so much, Sarah.
Got it.
Bye, guys.
Bye.